Alright then, I'm just gonna launch right into this. Apologies for the absolutely horrendous lag. I have a terrible computer, apparently, which is incapable of streaming. Fortunately, I'm planning on getting a new one very shortly. This is my first time streaming ever. I just thought that I would get started. I don't have too much of a plan for this. I do have a slideshow prepared to explain what my goals are and various information about myself, of course. I am, as you may have seen from my Twitter bio, a half demon, specifically incubus, and half orc. My official species name is Orcubus. I'm very glad that there's only one person here, because my nerves would be through the roof otherwise. From my test runs, I sort of figured that my voice didn't lag, which seems like a good thing. It seems like the primary thing that you might care about while watching a stream, especially if it's something simple like talking. Sorry, that was my cat. Yeah, I don't have too much else. Just to casually chat about. This is very new to me. I don't have too much to say. Most of my talking points are in the PowerPoint itself anyways. So, this is the... should have transitioned. As I said, I'm just starting. This is my name, Barlione Manobolge. I'm not attempting to steal Connata's aesthetic with running a PowerPoint. It's just all that I know. So, onto the first slide. My goals. I want to get better at streaming. This is something completely new to me. It's something that I've never done before. It's something that I've been interested in for many, many years. As a part incubus, I require to feed off of the emotions and feelings of others. Therefore, I am doing this streaming in order to make friends and feed off of the potential energy that I could receive from them in a non-harmful way. I plan on learning various things. I don't have a very wide skill set. It's fairly limited. But hopefully, by doing streaming and introducing myself to situations that I'm unfamiliar with, then I'll be able to learn and, improve at a lot of things. What to expect from my channel? Primarily gaming. That's all I'm particularly good at. I have a later slide on what games that I, tend to play. I plan on experimenting with various other things, as listed below. Art, I am absolutely horrendous at. I've never drawn well. I've never done anything like that exceptionally well. Singing, I've never sung in front of another person before. I'd like to do karaoke, various things like that. I don't know how good it'll sound. It might be extremely cursed. But who could say? Challenges, runs, video game runs like limited items, that sort of thing, or attempting to learn languages, various challenges like that. Cooking. Cooking's the only other thing that I am confident in, aside from my video gaming ability. So, it's a bit difficult to do as a VTuber, but hopefully I'll be able to manage it. As a VTuber, I take most of my knowledge of this from Hololive, so don't expect me to break that mold too much until I, start actually getting into the system and learning what I need to be doing. Next, here's a list of my favorite VTubers from Hololive as follows. My favorites from Hololive are definitely Ina and Okayu, the ones bookending this list. But I do love all of the Hololive members. I do wish that I could watch more Holostars, but my Japanese is beginner level at best. So, unfortunately, I can't engage with it too much, and there aren't very many clippers for male VTubers, which I'm also aware is a big hindrance towards what I'm attempting to do. Yeah, independents, as follows. I don't particularly want to read them out. Pascal, I want to make note of particular as another male VTuber who I particularly like. Nyanners, I've been following her for many years, back when she was just on YouTube and didn't do VTubing at all. Back when she did like song covers or parody songs, that sort of thing. Let's see, Nova's great. I do really like her very, very calm attitude and all that. Others, Pikami is great, and Hanamakia is someone that I had to include. Hana is undisputably my favorite VTuber on the internet. She's the one that inspired me to try this for myself. It was just something that I saw her doing this. I believe it was in her first membership stream. That I decided that I wanted to do this myself. Watching that. Right, so on to the next. Favorite music. A lot of these are fairly standard anime fan music. Aimer Dako, Minami, all that standard stuff. I tend not to focus on artists too much. I mainly listen to genres of music, so things like electro swing, soft rap, that sort of stuff. And a lot of anime OSTs, a lot of anime and game OSTs. Metal Gear Rising is great. As for anime, there's a bunch. Probably too many to list out in any reasonable amount of time. But on to the next. My favorite anime. This one I have actually numbered. So, at the bottom, Kuroko no Basuke. I do actually prefer Kuroko over Haikyuu. I know that's a somewhat controversial opinion. Probably like weighted 30 in favor of Kuroko, 70 in favor of Haikyuu. I sort of just prefer the ridiculous, over-the-top level basketball play that happens in there with the super exaggerated hyperpowers that they have. It's very amusing. 7 is Baccano. It's a classic show. It's very good. It's one of the few shows that I prefer in dub. As for fairly obvious reasons that are covered in a Trash Taste podcast, if I'm assuming a lot of people have seen that. Snafu, one of my favorite rom-coms, for sure. Hachiman is amusing, to say the least. I enjoy his nihilistic attitude. Konosuba, one of the most popular comedy anime that exists. I don't think I need to explain why that's on my list. I am a JoJo fan, fairly casually. I have read up through part 7. I haven't touched part 8 at all yet. But I'm a fan of JoJo. Fate slash extended whatever. There's 50 million of them. I haven't seen a lot of them, in all honesty. Mainly like the mainline stuff, as well as Grand Order and Apocrypha, that sort of stuff. Number 2, Mob Psycho. I did actually start reading that in the webtoon. I remember I started reading that a while ago, and I believe I was like halfway through it when I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I think Mob Psycho's better than One Punch Man, even with One Punch Man's updated artwork. And I stand by that. And my number 1 favorite anime of all time is Gurren Lagann. It's practically perfect. It has some slow moments on rewatch, but I tend to jump around to my favorite scenes. And on first watch, it's it's pretty well paced, especially if you aren't watching one episode at a time and have the ability to binge through it. Right. That's probably it for anime. Favorite games: Monster Hunter World. When Monster Hunter World came out, I spent, I believe, 5 days straight just non-stop playing it for like 8 hours a day. I think I got like, 50, 60 hours in 1 week. I didn't play any Monster Hunter games previously to it, because I didn't own any of the systems that, Monster Hunter World was on. But I did always admire it from a distance. It was just something that I had an interest in, and once World came out, I discovered that interest was not misplaced. FromSoft, Seki Blood, Soulsborne, all that stuff. I was a big fan. I started at Dark Souls 2, which I believe is probably the best thing that could have happened, because I don't view Dark Souls 2 as the worst game ever made, because it was my first, so the quality only went up from there, which is, fairly good. I enjoy a lot of roguelite and roguelike games. I don't think I've ever played the original Rogue. I've played a couple of ASCII roguelikes, but, Dungeons of Dreadmore is hidden behind my head. That's a bit of an older one. And by older, I mean, 2010? It's something pretty recent. But one of the games that I have held off on playing is Hades, because I wanted to play that on stream. Terraria and Minecraft. I've played both of them since launch. In fact, I've played Minecraft since before it was stolen by Mojang and used to be called Infiniminer. Terraria is definitely from launch. Yeah, it's I hold them on the same sort of tier. Heroes of the Storm, I play that very casually. I don't play it much anymore. It's the only MOBA that I've ever played. And it's probably the only MOBA I will ever play. Because I am scared of the mean people. Fate Grand Order. I play Fate Grand Order, the gacha game. It's consumed a large portion of my life. I've been playing for, maybe around 2 years at this point. Maybe 2.5. It's unhealthy, and I should probably stop, but sunk cost fallacy is set in pretty hard. And, I don't know what to do. Alright. And here we have reached the end. 4 credits. My live 2D art was done by Akihika. That's her on Twitter, and my live 2D rigger, who did the animations and all of the modeling, or the movement, is Gogi Gamer. That's his Twitter @ that I don't think I could reliably pronounce. And yeah, that's it. Back to the top. So this is about all of the info that I had for my debut stream. If I had any viewership, I would probably ask questions or ask for questions, but as there's one person, there was two earlier, so that was more than I thought I was going to get. Yeah. One of the things that I did realize is that my name is probably a bit difficult for people to reliably pronounce or say, or even just talk about casually. So I figured that a nickname would probably be in order. There are a couple. For instance, Leon, from the end of Barlione, or Leo, because, lion, Barlione, Leo. I've Barley or Bar. Those are both fairly common shortenings for this name. But, since it's hard to get a consensus out of one person who may or may not be either myself or a ghost, we'll never know. But, feel free to just call me whatever you'd like. Oh, I also don't have any Twitter hashtags or anything like that. Just @ me if you care to send me anything. Not that I expect many people to. But other than that, we got one viewer. You're joining in just at the end. Good job, friend. I'm about to end it. So, I'm going to bid you adieu. Unless you have anything to say, I'll wait around for a couple seconds if you want to engage with me at all. Alright, cool. I hope all one of you has a very good day.